complete rest in Shavasana. Sometimes the asana that we need the most, particularly when life has got busy. And I do have Bruno in the room, so if you do hear any noises, it's him. If he gets too noisy, I'll put him back out. So just feeling the belly rise and fall. Taking a moment to acknowledge your energy levels this morning. How are you feeling? How is that vibration feeling? And with every exhalation, just starting to let the mind go a little bit more. Let's draw our legs together and inhale, bringing the arms up and behind you. Taking a stretch, maybe a yawn, pushing those heels away. And as you exhale, bringing the arms down and drawing the right knee in towards you, squeezing it in. Inhale, reaching the arms long, pushing the legs away. As you exhale, drawing the left knee in towards you, squeezing towards the chest. Exhaling, long arms and long legs. And then just link your fingers together and place the hands underneath the head, resting the elbows down on the floor. Take a bend into both legs, bringing the feet down on your mat and pushing your spine into your mat, so really tucking in the tailbone. A little bit of distance in the feet. Upper body is completely relaxed, the shoulders are open, the arms are resting. We're going to inhale, and as we exhale, just drop the knees over to the right side. Maybe you want to turn the head to the left, or maybe keep the head where it is. Let the toes relax, you're not holding any tension in the feet. Maybe just sending the breath into that left hip. Taking that slow roll back to center. And then just letting the knees fall over to the left side. You're not pushing, just dropping them down. With every exhalation, maybe they start to feel heavier and heavier, more relaxed. And then coming back to center, we're going to draw both knees in, squeezing the knees in, holding them in towards the chest. Send the heels up to the ceiling, maybe linking the fingers behind the thighs or just holding the thighs. As you exhale, working your hands up the legs, drawing the legs towards you. Gazing towards the toes, but making sure you're not arching the neck. Keep using your breath, working up towards the ankles. Maybe realizing how tight the legs are feeling. If you can reach your toes, hold on to your toes. If not, hold on to the back of the calf muscles. And then just start to take the legs wide. Holding the toes or holding the back of the legs. Feeling the inner leg. Going as far as feels comfortable. Lower back is into the mat. Bringing the heels back together and drawing the knees back in towards the chest. We're going to bring up the head and hold here. Send the arms out now, palms facing towards each other. Send the right leg long, keep the left knee in. If it feels uncomfortable on the neck, you can drop your head. We're going to alternate. Right knee in, left leg long. Hovering that left heel, it's not touching the mat. And reverse. Holding that left knee in, make sure you're not holding the breath. One more, bringing that right knee back in. Keep the jaw relaxed. And then both knees in, drop your head back to your mat. And just take that rock side to side. Giving the lower back a little massage here. Rolling on to one side when you're ready. And you're going to grab your oil if you have one to hand and apply it to wherever it's needed this morning. Breathing in that aroma. Maybe doing a little bit of pummeling into the legs, into the tummy, into the chest, down the arms, just waking up a little. Back, glutes, hips, head. Even the fingers feel quite nice into the head. Tapping. A little bit of Indian head massage. And shake the arms and release. Let's swing round onto our hands and knees. So you should already feel that with the oil and with the stimulation. The head should feel clearer. So we're in our table position. We're going to open up with the right arm, stretch up, reach up. And we're going to thread our right arm through our left and place our right ear down on the mat. Then send that left arm long to start. So you're pulling your left shoulder back. You should feel that opening into the right side. And then maybe that left hand drops around the lower back to the right thigh. Finding that breath again, breathing in the oil all the way into the belly. Use your left hand to bring you back into that table. Send your right leg long, squeeze it back. And then draw that knee in towards the nose, curling the body in. Exhaling, leg long. Inhaling, knee to nose, drawing the knee in. Exhaling, leg long. Last one, drawing knee to nose, squeezing in so you can feel that in the core. And then dropping that right knee down, back into your table. We're going to open up left arm, reaching up, reaching long. And then thread that left hand through the right, dropping left ear down onto your mat, sending that right arm long. Make any adjustments, make sure there's no pain. Should just feel that deep opening into the left shoulder. Maybe that right hand now comes around the back, pulling that right shoulder back. Breath is long. Pushing that right hand back into your mat. So you come back into your table, the hands under the shoulders. Gaze is down. Left leg is long. Send that leg back, point the toe away. And then drawing in, curling in, knee to nose. Exhale as you lengthen. So it's inhale coming in. Exhale going out. Let's do one more. Exhale long. And then drop that knee back down to your table. Walk your hands forward now to the top of your mat. We're going to drop our forehead down, keeping the bottom high in melting heart. Feeling that breath coming in through the nose. You need that release out of the mouth and take it. Really feeling more and more in tune with your body as you move through your practice. Maybe we've been neglecting it a little, maybe caught up in busyness of life. Coming back to listening. Let's take that walk back up. Keeping the hands a little bit away from the shoulders now, ready for our lovely rotation. So you're going to start towards that right heel and just work your way through, making that circle quite big. And that lovely release through the joints. It's quite nice just to close the eyes, keeping that inner connection. And reverse your circle. Taking one more circle. Coming all the way back up. And then just sit back into a balasana. Maybe it feels quite nice to have the knees wide. So a slow, steady practice this morning. We're really going to be taking our time. When you're ready, let's head into down dog. So send heels back, arms long. Palms and fingers grounding down into your mat. Let's inhale into the toes and then bend at the knees, sending your knees towards your mat. Exhale, straighten the legs, bringing the heels back down. We inhale into the toes, we bend at the knees, dropping the knees. We exhale, lengthening back, dropping the heels. Let's do one more. Inhale, pushing all 10 toes into your mat. Drop your knees. And then exhale, back to your down dog. Let's step right foot forward, top of the mat. Drop that left knee down and rise up into your low lunge, bringing the arms up. Holding here. Place the hands on the inside edge of that right foot and push onto your toes. Maybe take that roll forward and back. And then frame that right foot with both hands, rolling forward and back. Drop your left knee back down, relax the toes of the back leg and start to come up, straightening the right leg. You can always grab your block here. We're going to point the toes up towards the ceiling. Maybe we stay quite high here. Maybe we start to delve back towards our back leg. You decide. Maybe once there, it feels good to lower a little. Our hands can be our gentle support. Sending that breath to where it needs to go today. Every day our body feels different. Let's take that gentle roll forwards, framing that right foot once again. And we're going to step straight back into our down dog. Taking that walk, that push back, whatever the body needs. Maybe simply holding, finding that stillness. Send your gaze slightly forward as you step forward with that left foot, dropping your right knee down, relaxing the toes, bringing the arms up long. Holding here. Reaching up a little more out of the waist. And then dropping hands inside of that left foot. We're going to push onto the toes of the right. Send that heel back. And then that rolling forward and back. Framing that left foot with both hands now, continuing that rocking motion. And then dropping your right knee, relaxing the back foot and heading back towards that heel. Left toes pointing upwards. You decide how far you go. Sending love to your body, no judgment, no competition. I think that's one of the nice things about practicing at home, is we're not looking around a class, letting the ego take over of what maybe someone else is doing. We become much more aware of our own body and we practice on our own mat. We're going to take that walk forwards, plant the hands and step it back to down dog. Stretching through the arms, through the legs. Take a slow walk towards the top of your mat. Bring the feet together and let's take a forward fold. Doesn't matter where the hands are, whether they reach the floor, whether they're on the legs, whether they're just hanging. Take a bend at the knees and bring your chest down towards your thighs. And then straighten the legs. Taking that bend, chest to thighs, curling yourself up into a little ball, and then straightening the legs. Let's do one more. And straightening. If you have your block to hand, just place it in front of you, in front of your toes. Maybe you want to bring your left hand down onto it, or maybe you don't need your block. We're going to bend into the left leg and keep the right leg straight as we open up with our right hand. So you should really feel that in the back of the right leg. Like you're sitting back into that right hip, that glute. Bring both hands back down, straighten the legs into your forward fold. Right hand stays on the mat, just in front of the toes. We bend into the right leg, we straighten the left, and we bring up the left arm. So no tension in that right leg. Just feeling that left leg, all of the muscles. Dropping both hands back down, folding into your forward fold. We're coming up really slowly. We've been down a little while, so just take your time as you roll slowly, slowly up. We are going to bring the palms together. Stretch along in the body and exhale to your heart center. Just take a breath here. Thinking about what you want to bring into your life. Maybe it's more balance, maybe calmness, maybe it's wealth or health. Let's inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, fold down. Take a long spine stretch here, pushing the spine to the ceiling. Let's step back, right leg and the left for a plank. Holding, pulling away from our mat. Long body, hands under the shoulders. Finding that breath. You can always drop your knees if you need. One more breath. We're going to take that slow exhalation down to our mat and a roll into our cobra, squeezing the elbows back, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the toes. Let's exhale into our balasana, dropping the forehead, releasing the arms. Pushing the palms into your mat, just rolling back onto your knees, and that slow exhalation back down to your mat, and that roll back up into cobra. Exhale back to your heels. So the hands should not be moving. There should be some distance, so there's space for the body. We're rolling up, that slow roll down. Our cobra, pulling the elbows back, maybe coming up a little higher, and that exhalation back to our heels. Let's do one more movement with the breath. Inhaling into your cobra, exhaling into your balasana. Releasing the arms, just bring the arms alongside the legs and take a little roll through the head. Massaging into the third eye chakra. And the most important person that we should be listening to is ourselves. We become very good at listening to others. We also become very good at letting others make decisions for us or asking others. Instead of coming back to our inner guidance, just resting now in Balasana. That inner guidance that has all of the answers. We need to just find that space to listen. Send the arms long on your mat. Come back to your down dog. Pushing back. Let's take the right leg long and step forward. Right foot, left foot stays back. Let's bring the hands to our heart. So you're bending into your right leg. Hands to the heart center. We're going to take a twist over our right knee. Maybe we're dropping that knee down, the left knee down if we need to. Maybe we're staying high. We're taking one more breath. Bringing the hands back to center. Frame that right foot and just step it back to your plank. Holding here, pulling away from your mat, or maybe dropping the knees down. That slow roll down to your mat. That roll into Cobra. And that exhale into Balasana. Finding the breath, finding that connection. When you're ready, heading back to down dog. We're going to take left leg long. Step it forward, top of the mat. Hands come up to the heart. Lunging into that left leg, pushing back into the heel of the right. And we're going to take that twist over that left side. You always have that option of dropping the knee if you need. Breathing all the way into the belly. Releasing all the way out. Come back to your heart. Framing that left foot, last plank here, stepping back and holding. 2 more breaths. Last one. Take that slow roll down to your mat. Cobra pose. And Balasana, heading back to those heels. Maybe the arms are long, maybe they're alongside the legs. You decide. And then taking that roll back up. We're going to sit down on our mat, send our legs long. And then we're going to be bringing in our left leg, bending that heel close to you, pointing the toes of the right leg away, making that cradle again with your hands and bringing your hands underneath your left foot, or maybe using your strap if you prefer. We're going to send that leg straight up and out. Keep the shoulders relaxed, keep the spine long. Breathing into the belly. We're going to keep hold of our foot with our right hand and start to open with our left. Maybe turning the gaze backwards towards your left hand. Stretching through the upper body. Coming back to center, bending in to that left knee and then bringing that foot to the inner thigh, dropping that leg down. Toes of the right foot pointing up. Let's inhale, reach up, and then exhale, fold forwards towards the right foot. Inhale all the way into your lower back, and then exhale as you fold down. Keep with that movement of the breath, that inhalation, exhalation, bringing you further into the pose. Checking in with your lower back. Making sure you ease off if there's any pain. We're going to stay 2 more breaths. We're using our core muscles to come up, so engage the core and bring up your arms. Release. Let's keep the legs where they are for a moment. Take your left hand behind you. We're going to push into our left knee, bring up the body, stretch up, stretch back. Hips are forward, right toes pointing down. Arms are long. And release. Bring your legs back together on your mat. Make sure you're sitting evenly with the glute. So it's the right knee that's coming in this time. We've got that cradle, or we've got our yoga strap or belt. We're raising up that foot. Shoulders are relaxed, so we're not hunching. We want to lengthen into our spine. So make sure you're doing the opposite leg. I know I've turned, which might be confusing. It's just so I can see the screen. Breathing into the belly. Holding that left foot with your left hand or your strap, and open up now with the right hand. Not losing the height of that foot, turning the gaze maybe backwards. Coming back, bending into that knee. We've got that foot come into our inner thigh, or if we want something even more challenging, we place it on top of the thigh. You decide. We're going to inhale, reach up. Exhale, slowly take your time coming down. Using that breath. And just how good it feels to be in our body. We spend more time in our mind, in our thoughts, than we do being in our body. The body keeps serving us, keeps going. And sometimes it's screaming out at us, trying to get our attention. And if we continue not to listen, that's when we start to maybe get sickness, dis-ease, which leads to disease. We're going to take one more breath here. You're coming up slowly using the core muscles. And it's that right hand that's going behind, ready for that lovely opening stretch. Pushing back, pointing that left toe, pushing up into the hips, stretching behind you. And releasing back down. So we're going to bend in our left knee first of all, pointing that left knee forward, and we're going to take the right foot over the top for cow face pose, Gomukhasana. If it's uncomfortable to stack the knees like this, you can cross your legs. Make sure that your glute is down on your mat, so you're not high up anywhere. You can sit down. You might need to just pull your feet out of the way. Place your hands on the soles of your feet and just close your eyes. Feeling that energy, that connection, that warmth. Letting the shoulders release down and softening the jaw. Or you're holding tension in your legs. If you are, just try and send your breath there. Try and let go. And we're going to start to incorporate our arms as well. So let's take our right hand back, tuck it between your shoulder blades. And then we inhale, left arm up and take it back to meet the right. Maybe we grab our strap here if the fingers don't meet. Left elbow is pointing upwards, right elbow is down. And we might just stay up here with our spine long, or maybe it feels good to roll down towards our bent knee. Again, you're going to decide, you're in your body, you know what it wants on this Wednesday morning. Wherever you're at, just close your eyes. You want to keep that inner awareness. We're not in our outer world when we're in our yoga practice. You spend enough time there. And we're going to take one more breath. We're releasing when you're ready. And we need to change the cross of our legs. If you did just cross your legs, you change the cross, or we're stacking again. This time right knee is down and it's the left knee that's on top. And you may find one side feels easier. That's quite normal. Again, make sure your feet are away from your body so you can sit evenly on your mat. We're taking a moment just to close the eyes. Let that spine grow even taller. Reach that crown of the head even longer to the ceiling. You may be feeling what's going on in the hips at the moment. Are they screaming at you? Are they fighting this position? And the more we hold, the more they're able to release, as long as there's no pain. We're going to take our left hand back, tucking it between the shoulder blades, and that right arm up and back to meet it. Using the strap if we need, or we can use a small towel. And then we've got that decision of staying up or maybe dropping down. I'm going to choose which one feels right today. Letting the eyes close. One more breath here. Releasing the arms, releasing the legs. Let the legs go wide. Grab your block as well if you don't already have it to hand. And when you bring the legs wide, just give them a little shake and a wiggle. So we're going to grab our block, or you can always use your bolster as well. Taking the legs as wide as they want to go, so making sure you can feel that inner leg stretch. We're going to start to fold towards our block, or maybe we're using a bolster. So we're taking a walk with our hands. Just keep walking until you find that point where you can rest your forehead. It might be that you're on your elbows when you're resting your chin or your forehead in your hands, and that's okay. You'll find as we hold the pose, keeping the toes pointing upwards, heels pushed away, you will start to be able to go deeper, again as those muscles release. Depending how tight they're feeling, depending on any activity that you may have been doing. Breathing all the way into the body. Keep the heels pointing away, that's the floor by the way. Toes pointing upwards. Relax the shoulders. I'm going to take 2 more breaths here. So if you haven't gone any further, maybe just see if the body does want to go a little deeper. And the last breath. We are going to come up slowly, using our hands to walk us back up. And we're going to swing round onto our backs. So I'm going to get you to grab your bolster if you have one, or maybe it's a pillow, and put it into the middle of your mat. Move anything else out of the way. Take that bend into the legs. You can always have, actually, if you want, your blanket. Just make sure it's not on the shoulders, it's just on the head. So we're going to start to roll back over our bolster or our pillow or whatever we're using and push it under our hips. So we've worked quite a lot into the hips, but we want to just let go now. So if it feels okay, we send our legs nice and long. We send our arms out to the side with the palms facing upwards. Chin is tucked in, no strain on the neck. And if this position doesn't feel okay, then you adjust it. Please don't lie there feeling any discomfort. It's restorative. It should feel like it's supporting you so your body can let go. Eyes are closed. Maybe just taking this time to send your body love. Send your body thanks. Feeling grateful for everything that your body does to serve. We're going to take a bend back into our legs and draw our knees towards us. So you might start to lift off a little off of your bolster, that's okay. It feels quite nice having that support. You can get your knees closer to the chest. We're going to either take hold of our toes or the back of our legs. Send our heels up towards the ceiling. And maybe you start to lift off your bolster a little bit more. Pushing into your hands with your toes or pushing into your strap. Stretching into your lower back. Relax your elbows and your shoulders. Peel them away from you. So you're peeling your shoulders down towards the floor. Maybe coming up a little higher off of your support. And release. Taking that bend into your legs. Pushing up into a bridge once your feet are on the floor. And moving your bolster or your pillow or whatever you've been using away from your body. And then slowly lower the spine back down. Send that left leg long and squeeze in the right knee. Take a spinal twist, send that right knee over to the left and roll onto your left hip. Relax your right arm and shoulder. Rolling back to center. We're going to draw in the left knee, squeeze it in. Spinal twist the opposite way. Roll onto your right hip. Relax the left arm and shoulder. And roll back. So I'd like you, if possible, to have your legs higher than your heart. So whether that means coming to a wall and bringing your legs up against the wall, or if you've got a sofa quite close by, like I have here, Crystal's rolling, you're going to bring your legs up on top of the sofa. So like this position here feels lovely. It can also be the wall, so they can be propped up against a wall. Or if you don't have any of that close by, just grab your pillow and bring it underneath your knees. You're going to grab your blanket, you're going to make yourself nice and cozy. For our meditation. So adjust your body so you are fully comfortable. Let the eyes close. The palms face upwards. Finding that complete stillness. And on some days that stillness is harder to find than others. I'm going to finish with a short story from a book that I've been reading called The Power of Awareness. So it talks about the law of assumption. So as I often say, assuming that whatever your wish or desire is already here, you're already holding it in your hands. So one afternoon, a young grandmother, a businesswoman in New York, came to see me. She brought along her 9-year-old grandson, who was visiting her from his home in Pennsylvania. In response to her questions, I explained the law of assumption, describing in detail the procedure to be followed in attaining an objective. The boy sat quietly, apparently absorbed in a small toy truck, while I explained to the grandmother the method of assuming the state of consciousness that would be hers were her desire already fulfilled. When the boy and his grandmother were leaving, he looked up at me with great excitement and said, "I know what I want, and now I know how to get it." Surprised, I asked him what he wanted. He told me he had his heart set on a puppy, and to this the grandmother vigorously protested, telling the boy that it had been made very clear that he could not have a dog under any circumstances, that his father and his mother would not allow it, that the boy was too young to care for it properly, and furthermore the father had a deep dislike for dogs. He actually hated to have one around. All of these were arguments the boy passionately, delirious of having a dog, refused to understand. "Now I know what to do," he said. "Every night, just as I'm going off to sleep, I am going to pretend that I have a dog and we are going for a walk." "No," said the grandmother, "that is not what Mr. Neville means. This is not meant for you. You cannot have a dog." Approximately 6 weeks later, the grandmother told me what was to her an astonishing story. The boy's desire to own a dog was so intense that he absorbed all that I had told his grandmother of how to attain one's desire, and he believed that at last he knew how to get a dog. Putting this belief into practice for many nights, the boy imagined a dog was lying in his bed beside him. In his imagination, he petted the dog, feeling its fur. He thought of the things like playing with the dog and taking it for a walk, all filled his mind. Within a few weeks it happened. A newspaper in the city in which the boy lived organised a special programme in connection with Kindness to Animal Week. All school children were requested to write an essay. Why would I like to own a dog? After entries from all the schools were submitted and judged, the winner of the contest was announced. The very same boy who weeks before in my apartment in New York had told me, "Now I know how to get a dog," was the winner. In an elaborate ceremony which was publicised with stories and pictures in all the newspapers, the boy was awarded a beautiful collie puppy. In relating this story, the grandmother told me that if the boy had been given the money with which to buy a dog, the parents would have refused to do so and would have used it to buy a bond for the boy or put it into savings. Furthermore, if someone had made the boy a gift of a dog, they would have refused it or given it away. But the dramatic manner in which the boy got the dog, the way he won the citywide contest, and the stories and pictures in the newspaper, the pride of achievement and joy of the boy himself, all combined to bring about a change of heart in the parents, and they found themselves doing which they said they would never do, and they allowed him to keep the dog. All of this the grandmother explained to me, and she concluded by saying that there was one particular kind of dog on which the boy had set his heart. It was a collie puppy. It's a beautiful story of manifestation, the law of abundance. When you're ready, bring your knees into your chest. Take that roll side to side and slowly bring yourself up. Bring your hands back to your heart and thanking yourself for your practice this morning. Namaste.